Me and my wife were arguing and we began fighting. The police were involved because I pushed my son down in the midst of it all and I was arrested.
We showed up at Keith's basketball game. I saw her talking to another guy, and we ended up getting in a fight, and then we went to the parking lot, and things got a little physical, so.
Working with people who have used violence with their partners or with their children is really difficult. This work is hard. You hear challenging things every day.
So the first step that I take when working with a person who uses violence is to do some planning with the survivor to make sure that I'm not going to make things worse for the family. Many times the people that I'm working with have had trauma in their own lives, and healthy aspects of a relationship like trust, patience, honesty, good communication, these things might not come naturally to them.
Some of the best memories I have are me and my dad going fishing. He loved to fish and sometimes he can be really mean.
I think one of the ways I've learned to help is learning from the community that we're trying to serve. Safety can mean different things for different people. We need to understand that clients must teach us how to serve them. And historically, we haven't done that.
The better job I do in engaging with a person using violence, the more I help the adult survivor and the children.
Faith organizations, family, community support can all be a part of a coordinated response that looks a little different from what we've experienced traditionally. In some communities, particularly in communities of color, institutions within the criminal justice system may not always be seen as an institution that is a friend to that community.
If you have created a space for them where they will not feel judged, and your inquiry as to how they are and what they're going through, people will be more comfortable in speaking with you and then beginning to apply it to their actions.
I think I can tell that a person is opening up more when they're a little bit more willing to start talking about some of their own experiences. I think that's often a really good sign that I can kind of keep delving into that and push the work a little further.
It was a wake-up call for me, and I've learned to talk with love in my heart rather than rage and anger, which has allowed my kids to see a different perspective.
Being together as a family means everything, and I'll continue to do the work I need to do so we can stay together.
I hold on to hope when I meet with a family and they say, what normally caused a fight this time didn't happen.
It's important to imagine that change is possible.
My hope for my kids is to show them that it's okay to be you and to show the world a more positive way of, being a human being.
Often getting a person who uses violence to take action that benefits themselves and their families is one of the hardest parts of my job. One of the most powerful tools I have is to use fatherhood to help them change their perspective and get the help they need. Thanks for agreeing to meet with me.
No problem.
So tell me a little bit about your understanding of why your family got involved with child protection.
My wife told me that the kids may be going into foster care, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm here.
It sounds like keeping your family together is really important to you.
Yeah, but she's not a good mother anyway, and she has no control over the kids.
So oftentimes when I'm talking to people who use violence, they'll bring up their partners, and usually this conversation doesn't really lead anywhere. So I try to redirect the conversation and pivot a little bit back to focusing on the family as a whole and specifically on the child's perspective.
A lot of people place blame on someone else or don't take responsibility for their own actions. Having someone understand that part or begin to is very important on getting them to go on the right path.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your understanding of why your family got involved with child protection?
I was arrested last week. Me and my wife were fighting. I accidentally pushed my son down. The police shows up and they tell me that I have to leave my house. And me being a man, I felt that was wrong. Telling me to leave my home where I pay all the bills.
It must have been a shock to have to leave your home like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where were your kids when this was going on? What was happening for them?
When I bring up the child's perspective, it often helps the domestic violence offender to see it in their child's view and see the impact that they've had on their child.
It allows for them to see how their actions affect someone that they love.
Well, my son tried to jump in, and my kids, well, my daughters, I should say, they were in the room, and they were asleep, so they didn't hear nothing.
Why'd your son try to jump in?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because my wife plays the victim all the time, and he feels that he's protecting her from whatever it is, and she's convinced him that I'm just a monster or something.
So I can imagine what your son thinks of you is probably really important.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe he was trying to jump in because he's seen his mother get hurt in the past.
Me and my wife got physical, but nothing to that extent. I mean, she gives as good as she gets anyway.
Well, I think showing interest in the perspective of the person using violence can really help build empathy and trust in the relationship. I know this isn't easy.
I guess, whatever.
So we were talking about your son wanting to jump in.
I don't beat my wife. And I feel like that's what you're implying right now. Is that what she's telling you? Okay, if so, I need to know.
So I want you to know we did talk to your wife.
Okay.
We talked to your kids, too. And your family loves you a lot.
And I love them too, but I need to know what she said.
They said that you like to go fishing together as a family. What do you like about it?
It's quiet. I mean, it's peaceful at times. Me and my dad used to go a lot when we were younger, and it was always fun. I mean, at times she could be mean, but overall it was a fun time.
So a lot of times people will start to bring up experiences they've had with their own fathers, and this can be a great opportunity to kind of help them think about parenthood and what kind of parent they would like to be. You know, I think a person can be a good man and still have times when things get out of control and people get hurt. What do you think about that?
What do I think? I see what you're doing here, and you're not slick. I'm a great provider for my family. And yeah, sometimes I have a temper, but that doesn't mean I don't love my kids. I love my dad, I love my kids, they love me. So can you stop, please?
Do you remember how you felt as a kid when your dad would get angry?
I was mad. But I mean, other times, maybe I felt a little sad.
Imagine that was really hard for you.
I guess.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Do you have anybody that you could talk to about that?
Nope. It's in the past, so leave it alone.
Sometimes these experiences can have impacts on us as adults. If you were going to talk to somebody about it, who would you talk to?
I really don't want to talk to anyone.
I wonder if it's possible that maybe your son feels the same way sometimes.
I guess you could say that. I mean, the last thing I want is my own kids to be scared of their dad.
So once I've gotten the person talking a little bit about their experience as a child and what kind of parent they would like to be, then I'll open the conversation up to what being a good father looks like to them.
I think it's important for fathers to be able to define that, what it is to be a good father, and actively work towards achieving that.
What kind of dad do you want to be? What does being a good father look like to you?
I mean, making sure my kids are okay and creating memories with them. Teaching my son to not only be a man, but be a responsible man at that.
What about your daughters?
What about my daughters?
What do you want them to learn about relationships, like with future partners or husbands?
Well, my daughter's a whole nother story. I mean, both of them are mouthy. But, you know, I refuse to let any man put their hands on her. That's my babies.
It sounds like you want them to be who they are.
No, I insist on being respected.
You know, a lot of men who love their families end up doing some damage sometimes when they get angry. There's actually a group here in town for men who've been involved with courts. I found that connecting it back to fatherhood can prove as a very powerful motivator in making change and taking those next steps to become that father that they would like to be.
Are you trying to... I know you're not talking about therapy,
No, it's not a therapy group.
It sounds like you're talking about therapy.
It's not a therapy group. It's just a group for men to get together and talk about these kinds
what?
of things. A lot of the men say it's really helped them a lot.
Okay, that's fine, but that's not me.
Just based on everything you've said, it sounds like you really care about your family.
Yeah, I care about my family, but I'm not going to a therapy.
And you really want to do right by your kids.
Yeah.
And I think it would send a really positive message to them if you were to try this group out and see if maybe it can help you.
You think it will?
I think trying this group out will give you a better chance of your family staying together, and it sounds like that's something that's really important for you.
I mean, if I have to go, I'll go.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a call in a couple days, and we can talk more about it, okay? When doing this work, I think it's important to have both a healthy skepticism and also kind of an unwavering optimism, and not being too trusting or too soft, but also hold this idea that change is always possible and being able to see the strengths in people.